Get ready for an exciting ride as Hell's Kitchen chefs go from bad to downright disastrous. And I bet these moments will leave you in disbelief. We're starting things off with Dan Ryan. Hailing from Westchester, New York, Dan Ryan was a contestant on the 11th season who ranked in 14th place. During the Signature Dish Challenge, Ryan was the 5th person from the blue team to present his dish. He went against the infamous Gina Eloise from the red team. This was what he presented for the challenge.
Did you throw up on that plate? What is it supposed to be?
Eggs Benedict with a champagne hollandaise sauce, sourdough bread, heirloom tomatoes, and sautéed spinach.
It's fitting that you made this in Vegas because whoever eats that is sure to get the craps, let me tell you.
Yikes, what a rocky start to the competition. Do you think he would redeem himself though? Well, all Ryan managed to do was gain a reputation for his rotten attitude. This was especially the case in episode 4.
In Play Foundation, and we have organized the most amazing first ever HK 3K to raise awareness of childhood obesity. I would like a volunteer, one from the blue team and one from the red team. Dan, let's go.
I'm all legs. I'm pretty sure I could run this backwards and beat Mary.
Runners on your mark, set, go bro.
Dan.
At the beginning of the episode, the teams were presented with a HK 3K service challenge in which each team had volunteered to run the course with some runners. Ryan volunteered from the blue team and Pon helped from the red. By the end of the challenge, the blue team did end up losing, and here's what their punishment looked like.
Man, why do this thing's not going away?
The next day during prep, you could see Ryan developing a bit of an attitude.
What is this? Watercress. No, it's not. Watercress, wow. I'm doing watercress right now. This is the Swiss chard. We don't want to our team.
Meanwhile, things were going smoothly for the blue team except for a contestant named Ray Alonghi, who was holding up the team due to his risotto.
Ray, get your head out of your and get this risotto out. We're waiting on you. Waiting on Ray.
Later, he was given 1 minute for his lamb to be ready, but when Michael Langdon sent his lamb garnish to the pass, he noticed his lamb was still undercooked. He revealed the problem to Chef Ramsay, much to Langdon's dismay. Here's how Ryan reacted to the problem.
Where? The lamb's not cooked. Where? Brand new garnish. Michael, just sit there and wait. I got it.
Where's this lamb?
After that, Chef Ramsay asked him for the lamb twice as he didn't answer the first time. Finally, when he did react, he said that there was 1 minute remaining. Langdon urged him to hurry up as he didn't want to do his garnish all over again. He said that he couldn't do anything about it other than put it back in the oven, and when he asked Womack for more time, Langdon lost his patience. This is when things began to get heated in the kitchen. Take a look at this.
How long? You just looked at the lamb. How long? Move. Then he asked Zach how long? Are you kidding me? How does Zach know? Get the out of here. Get out. Really, if he lays one finger on me, I'm gonna beat him all over the room. I don't care if I go to jail tonight.
Now you know why he's on our list of chefs with bad attitudes. Moving on to the next chef being Tiffany Johnson. Tiffany Johnson, a chef from Warren, Vermont, ranked in 9th place in the 10th season of the show. During the Signature Dish Challenge, Johnson was the 2nd person from the red team to have her dish judged. Here's what she made for the challenge.
I have a lamb schnitzel with a rosemary and maple infused lamb gloss.
Just touch the top of it. It's like a wet diaper. So you make a lamb chop crispy and then you dredge it in sauce.
I accidentally just kind of poured the sauce over it in a hurry.
In the second episode, the contestants were introduced to the Scallop Challenge, where they needed to find scallops within a mound of ice. Johnson saw that Barbie Marshall was of no help and completely lost her cool. She became very passive-aggressive with Marshall and said that an extra set of hands would be nice. You won't believe what she called her.
I think we could have used a little bit more hands-on from Barbie. Big bitch.
In the end, the winning red team was rewarded with a trip to Catalina Island. They traveled aboard a yacht with Chef Ramsay and had a ziplining experience. Later, during the dinner service, Johnson was in charge of the garnish station. You can definitely see that her attitude got progressively worse with each episode. Take a look at what she did.
There's supposed to be 5 per order, and I looked at the bitch and she hands me 8 scallops. Chef, scallops right here? Here you go, Barbie. I'll just throw you under the bus because that's where you belong.
Yep, Johnson threw Marshall right under the bus. Did she just jeopardize her team's chance at winning the challenge? This is how things went down when Chef Ramsay noticed 6 sea basses cooking.
Chef, I told them to start the bass because...
6?
Yes.
This should be cooked to order. It's fish.
Coming down with scallops?
I don't understand why I'm getting yelled at. I'm trying to put out food for the customer. I mean, I'm pissed off that he's mad at me.
You're telling her to cook 6 bass for 3 tables in front of what we're doing, and then this arrives. All of you, get out! Hey, you, take that with you. Get out of my side. Get out!
The 2 fish that I took out of the went out to the house, went out to the table. You get that, you idiot! What is wrong with you?
Ultimately, both teams were named joint losers and were asked to nominate 2 contestants. So, guess what happened?
Our first nominee tonight is Barbie, because we feel she's not a team player, Chef.
Second nominee.
Our second nominee tonight, Chef, is Roshni.
Fortunately for Marshall and unfortunately for her team, she wasn't eliminated that day. After the challenge was over, they went back to the dorm to unwind, and that's when this happened.
I'm on a no bitching policy now.
Despite her no bitching policy, after drinking it over,
I was like, what?
Tiffany makes it her duty to fill in Kimmy and Robin on the gossip. In her current state, she somehow decides what Royce said was actually said by 3 members of her own team.
During the Mexican night dinner service, Johnson was in charge of the garnish station. Kimmy Willis and Dana Cohen were arguing about who was responsible for the steak and snapper incident, and that's when Johnson interfered with a piece of her mind.
Did you put that on there? Nope, I asked her specifically, do you want to put it on there? Who cares? Just finish the food and shut up. I want to hear it. Stop.
Later, during the service, Chef Ramsay caught Marshall doing this.
Hey, you, come here, you.
Yes,
See that? Today we need, look at me, a thermometer.
To which Johnson said,
I don't know why she can't cook chicken. I really don't. Cooking a breast of chicken is about as easy as taking it. Anybody can do it. Are you that dumb?
well, Johnson sure did like to stir up drama on the team. Later that night, she burned the potatoes and served them to Chef Ramsay, and we all know how that went down.
Tiffany, put that down. Look at me.
Yes,
Seriously, I've had enough. Burnt mash. Get out. Get out.
Alright, let's move on to the next one, being Elise Harris. Elise Harris was a contestant in seasons 9 and 17. In the 9th season, she ranked in 3rd place, and in season 17, she ranked in 7th. In season 9 of the Signature Dish Challenge, she declared that she was not afraid to fight back and that everybody should watch themselves. She was the 6th person from the red team to have her dish judged. This was what Chef Ramsay thought about her dish.
After 2 disappointing dishes, line cook Elise.
The scallops are cooked perfectly.
Thank you, Chef.
Well done, Elise.
In the end, the red team lost the challenge. They were punished by cleaning up both kitchens. During the dinner service, Harris was in charge of cooking the risotto. Let's see what happens next.
Where's the risotto?
In my hand, Chef.
My scallops are up in the past.
Walking with a risotto.
It doesn't even look like a risotto. It's like a rice pudding. You start showing me you don't care about my customers, I'm going to start showing you that I don't care about you.
Later on into the service, Carrie Keep messes up on the scallops on 2 separate occasions. Harris tries to step in to help her, but you won't believe what happens next.
I got it, babe. No, I got it. This is my station. Thank you.
Why is she cooking fish?
I don't know what she's doing. She just came over here and grabbed it, Chef. I mean, are you kidding me? That bitch is crazy.
What in the is she doing?
I didn't let her cook it. She came over and grabbed it, Chef.
Well, I was going to cook it for you because we're all a team, right?
Her rotten attitude only grew worse when she came back in the 17th season. During the Signature Dish Challenge, she was the 7th person from the red team who went up against Van Herd. This was what she presented to Chef Ramsay.
And her poached lobster tail and grilled corn.
Lobster's cooked beautifully.
Thank you, Chef.
In the end, the red team lost and they were given a punishment. This was to clean up the entrance, tear down the risers and carpets, and clean up the confetti. After the blue team got kicked out of the kitchen, Chef Ramsay asked Harris and Robin Almodovar to help sous chef Jockey complete the blue team's remaining orders. In the end, the red team won the service. After the challenge, Josh Travado wanted to talk to Harris when they returned to the dorm. This was her reaction.
Talk to the red team, my team. At least can we go outside?
No, I don't want to go outside.
Can we go somewhere where we can have a chat? The red team?
I'm not ready to chat.
You can say that she has a really strong mind of her own. Well, as our final entry, we're gonna cover Brendan Pelly. Brendan Pelly, a chef from Bedford, Massachusetts, was a contestant that debuted in the 14th season and ranked in 13th place. During the Signature Dish Challenge, Brendan was the 2nd person from the blue team to present his dish. Check out what he prepared for the challenge and what Chef Ramsay had to say about it.
Are up against Executive Chef Brendan's Tempura Soft Shell Crab with ginger garlic sauce.
Crab, nicely done. 4 out of 5.
In the end, the blue team won the challenge and was rewarded with a Hummer limousine ride to St. Roch in Hermosa Beach. There, they met with William Shatner and took photos with him and Billy Sherwood. So clearly he was off to a good start, right? Not exactly. Let's dive right into the episodes to see where things went wrong. Pelly slowly started to show his true colors and demonstrated that he had poor communication skills. As a result of this, the blue team lost the service and they were asked to nominate 2 people for elimination. During the deliberations, Adam Laval spoke about Pelly's performance, saying,
Chef, our first nominee is Brendan. He just had an absolute collapse today at his station.
And Pelly reacted by saying,
I panicked. I couldn't recover. But at this point, I mean, everyone just let me sink. Like, I had Nick next to me on my left, I had Adam next to me on my right, and I feel like the guys on the other side of the line just watched me flail.
In the end, Pelly was eliminated, and this is what Chef Ramsay had to say about him.
If there's one solid piece of advice I need to give you, it's get back on the line. You're clearly not ready to be my next head chef. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Good night.
Good night, Chef. Thank you.
You thought that was all? Hell no! You won't believe how much worse it gets with each round in this next episode.
Without further ado, let's get started with Jen Gavin.
Hey, Jay, look at me. You're one f***ing cocky lady and someone knows jack shit, you know that?
Jen Gavin was a contestant who debuted in the 4th season of the show, ranking in 4th place. She made a comeback again in the 18th season, where she placed 15th. Gavin, an executive chef, was known for her bad behaviour on the show. Rather than motivating her teammates, she was always seen picking fights with them. She was never a team player. Seeing her behave was a rarity. In season 4, her teammates disliked her from the very beginning. Even though she was talented, Gavin was mostly dishonest and almost always held grudges against her teammates. She also could not stop talking back to Chef Ramsay. Gavin tried to talk back on the 8th day of dinner service when Chef Ramsay criticised her dish, but it's not easy to win an argument with Chef Ramsay. He shut her down in his classic manner.
I've had enough. I can't tell you anything anymore. I can't even give you any direction. Do you know why? You're undirectable. Because it's like,
Tired of her behaviour, Gavin's teammates could not keep up with her. So what was next? She was transferred to the blue team. Did she improve there or did she behave the same? Unfortunately, she was the same. She got into arguments with the blue team and soon everyone was fed up with her.
Why don't you just sit your pan right there? Blue House, why don't you go ahead and add the rest of this flour?
Chef Ramsay had to school Gavin several times. She seemed to be habitually disrespectful towards Ramsay.
no, all of you stories. No, you're lying. Hey, all of you, come here.
But how did Gavin survive elimination so many times? Her work was her saving grace, but will it save her every time? Surprisingly, she got a black jacket, but Chef Ramsay had had enough of her bad attitude and disrespectfulness. She was eliminated after the second black jacket dinner challenge. Knowing the history of Gavin, it was surprising to see her back in season 18. Was she the same Gavin we saw in season 4 or a changed one? Hate to break it, she was the same. This time she showed absolutely no empathy towards her teammates. And when it comes to talking back to Chef Ramsay, things quickly escalated to the boiling point. That night she not only argued with Chef Ramsay, but also with sous chef Jockey. But what went wrong? Gavin sent out 2 underportioned leeks for duck entrees at one point, and when Chef Ramsay pointed it out, she argued that she sent enough and accused Chef Ramsay of sabotaging her. The accusation didn't sit well with Chef Ramsay.
You lying, Chef. Yeah. You trying to sabotage me.
Really? Where?
You set me up. I'm steady bringing you.
Who set you up?
Gavin continued to accuse him until Chef Ramsay decided he'd had enough. She was unceremoniously eliminated from the competition right in the middle of the service.
Don't disrespect me.
Hey, take your apron off and get out.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry about it.
Front door.
At the end of the day.
After her departure, Chef Ramsay said, "Jen accused me of sabotaging her. The truth is, the only thing that sabotaged Jen tonight was her cooking."
Jen accused me of sabotaging her. The truth of the matter is, the only thing that sabotaged Jen tonight was her cooking.
So if you thought answering back to Chef Ramsay was terrible, what the next chef did will leave you feeling shocked. We're talking about Joseph Tinelli.
I ain't here for that.
You want to talk some shit?
Who can forget Tinelli? This guy became famous for the one thing he did on the show, pick a fight with Chef Ramsay. He is also widely known for his dialogue, "I ain't no," something that later went on to become a popular meme.
I don't give a
Tinelli not only had a bad temperament, but he was also sexist and indisciplined. A contestant of season 6, Tinelli uncovered his bad attitude at the very beginning. It was during the signature dish challenge when he showed his bad temperament.
A little taste of me, please? You got a fork?
You can buy that. You're a big boy.
I'm not an animal.
When Chef Ramsay asked to taste the vegetable he served with his dish, he asked for a fork as he didn't want to eat with bare hands. He even went on to say that he was not an animal, a statement that was uncalled for. Tinelli also showed how sexist he is when he made a foul toast to the girls who were punished with a cleaning job. He proudly said that the women were where they were supposed to be. If this wasn't enough, he ruined the atmosphere of his team during reward time. He disrespected Chef Ramsay and said that rewards and lunches were a waste of time.
I didn't come here for lunches and all this, you know. That's not what I'm here for.
Things went out of hand when Tinelli became very aggressive during the elimination round. When Chef Ramsay asked him to choose 2 of his teammates for the nominee, he answered that they could speak for themselves, as they already know who they are.
Who's the first nominee for the men?
They can speak for themselves, but they know who they are.
When asked again, he chose Tony and Andy for no particular reason. The situation escalated when he started rambling his famous catchphrase, "I ain't no bitch." Shortly after, he tossed his jacket off and aggressively lunged towards Chef Ramsay.
That shit, dog. I ain't here for that. You want a f***ing jacket? You want to talk some shit?
But before he managed to pack a punch, he was escorted away by security personnel. Phew, what an unexpected turn of events.
Oh, wow. You want to get f***ing rough?
Do you think I'm scared? Huh? Look at you.
Yeah, keep
you just blown your...
cameras.
Yeah, the cameras.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was surprising for many of us to see an ex-Marine behaving this way. The controversy surrounding Tinelli had only begun. Many viewers speculated that Joseph Tinelli was but a marketing gimmick to increase the viewership of the show. Whether or not these rumours are true remains a mystery. Coming up next, Elise Harris.
Once again, I made a statement. Why are you so offended about my statement?
Elise Harris, a contestant in season 9, finished the show in 3rd place. She returned in season 17 when she finished in 7th place. Harris was a rude, obnoxious, arrogant, selfish and aggressive contestant. She believed that she was the best. That's a lot for one person, but her belief in superiority blinded her. But Harris barely used to do any work. She always played it cool and stayed away from punishments. She would never pick anything heavy and hardly lent a helping hand to anyone. Harris was also a big bully and often got into arguments with her teammates.
No one else would step up and I did. Was I an individual?
One time,
then?
shut up!
It was not one.
Shut up for 5 seconds!
It was not that Chef Ramsay was not aware of her behaviour. He knew how Harris wouldn't think twice before throwing her team members under the bus for her own mistakes. Even though she was nominated many times, she always survived. Harris could earn a black jacket too, however she was eliminated at the last dinner service. After a brief hiatus, Harris was back in season 17. Many of us expected to see a different version of her, but nope.
But back in the dorms.
Guess who's back? Get used to this face.
Your crying face?
Old habits don't die soon. The new contestants almost instantly hated her as she pitched against. In season 9, Harris's mortal enemy was Carrie Keep, and in season 17, it was Robin Almaldovar. It used to always be super chaotic when they got into an argument.
Dinner service, way to bounce back after 2 challenges.
Thank you, that's right, because I'm the bounce back queen.
I've been nothing but a team player since I stepped foot in.
Harris reached the final Black Jackets challenge in season 17, but this time she couldn't earn one as her dish was not up to mark. In truth, Harris was a talented chef, but because of her behaviour and rotten attitude, she ruined her reputation. Sorry, but not sorry. We have to have this chef on our list today. Say hello to Hell's Kitchen's worst chef, Raj Branston.
I see all this food and it looks delicious, so I just, ate it.
Raj, please don't do that.
Branston, a personal chef, was a contestant in season 8 of Hell's Kitchen. Branston was anything but a team player. He could not communicate well. He often found it hard to follow basic instructions. Although Branston firmly believed he was the best, his signature dish was the worst to be presented in Hell's Kitchen.
This is a seafood and vegetable pancake.
My God, pancake?
Yeah, it's a pancake.
What? Does that look like a pancake?
Branston sucked at pretty much everything he did. Whether it was cooking or waiting tables, he struggled at both. Whenever he was flustered, he would stick his head into the fridge to cool himself off. Branston's ego compelled him to make many mistakes, and eventually his teammates too lost faith in him.
The truth is, I have no faith that he's going to be able to get the sides out.
There was an occasion when Vincent Accardi, or Vinny, advised customers not to order sides because Branston was handling that station.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. If you guys order sides, you're going to be here till next Tuesday. I have zero confidence that Raj is getting out.
By the third dinner service, Branston's exit from the show was certain. While Chef Ramsay was turning down orders one after the other, Branston happily munched on a rejected fish order. That didn't sit well with either his teammates or Chef Ramsay.
Have you got enough in there?
But that's so good. It's really a waste.
Wow.
No, I mean, I just took a quick little bite. It's really tasty.
For the following service, Branston had prepared too many servings of Dover sole, which resulted in a shortage in the kitchen.
Why would I try to fire 3 tables? Donkey.
When Chef Ramsay asked him to brave up and explain the issue to the customers, he protested. He argued that his apron was too dirty to interact with the guests. Finally, sous chef Scott lost it and went up to the guests by himself.
Get out there!
I can't put this in. I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Put it down and get out there!
Despite the blue team winning the challenge, Chef Ramsay eliminated Branston for being a horrible performer. And finally, we have Jason Underwood.
You gonna do anything about it?
I'm trying something new. I'm gonna put a little sugar and rub it around the rim and try to get that.
Jason Underwood was a contestant in season 4. Underwood undoubtedly was sexist, misogynist, self-centered and arrogant. He never left a chance to belittle the red team. Underwood said that the only thing he'd lose to a woman during the dinner preparations would be an ironing competition. He implied that women are only good for household chores.
I'll lose to a team of girls. The only thing I'm going to lose to a woman is like an ironing contest.
Underwood abandoned his team during the first dinner service and headed out for a quick smoke break. It's not like the pompous guy was any better in the kitchen. He did awful in the signature dish challenge.
What's he doing? Jason! 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 Can you get your ass down here, please?
Yes, chef.
When Underwood eventually returned to the kitchen, he screwed up the appetizers. After Underwood's pathetic attempt at the traditional dish, Chef Ramsay was highly irritated. He even urged Underwood to eat one of his cooked risottos so he could understand how awful it was. But the man was far from owning his mistakes. Throughout his time on the show, he often belittles the famous contestants by referring to them as little kids. Once he said that a room full of girls was useless unless they hosted a Tupperware party. He never missed an opportunity to show his sexist side. When the men's team lost a challenge, he was surprised that the women could beat them.
Okay, he just said we can get more if we need it, so don't sweat it. I don't think the girls have a clue what they're doing. But what do you expect without a man over there to lead them, of course?
During the dinner service, Underwood screwed up big time. Getting assigned at the dessert station, he couldn't make one souffle right. Underwood was so pathetic during the service that he wanted to quit.
What's happening with the desserts?
The souffles are not coming out right at all. They're sticking.
Come here a minute.
Okay. I cannot get them to come up. They're sticking really bad. They look like muffins.
Underwood was eliminated for being slow and for giving up before the service. So much for boasting about being a man.
But this chef right here crossed every limit of being the worst chef. We're starting things off with Russell Cook. Russell Cook was a sous chef from Madison, Wisconsin who finished as the runner-up for season 8. The most memorable thing that fans remember Cook for is being a sore loser after losing to Nana Sivley, a sous chef from Georgia. She won the head chef position at Carrie Simon's LA Market and the JW Marriott Hotel at LA Live, which comes with a $250,000 salary. We could imagine why he was so salty. Not only did Cook not accept his loss gracefully, but he also blamed his teammates. He said,
"I'm pissed. I'm not happy at all.
Look at me. You keep that up, okay?
I chose the team that I wanted, and I thought they would help me win, and in fact, they helped me lose. So, thanks a lot, guys.
I felt like I was being sabotaged.
You gave your best, man. You will never get a job in any city I work. I'm going to definitely blackball you guys, because you guys me so royally tonight.
During the prom planning challenge, Cook argued with Boris when the latter complained that he wasn't contributing to the dishes. Luckily, Trev McGrath, of all people, stepped up to calm down the situation. In the end, the blue team lost the challenge 0-3. Cook was always in a rage. He ignored the prom committee's instructions during the punishments and snapped at them. Man, this guy is just awful. Alright, moving on to the next controversial chef, being Robin Almodovar. Robin Almodovar was a contestant that appeared in both seasons 10 and 17. Ranking in 6th place for her first run, she slightly improved the next time around, ranking in 5th. She was best known for her attitude and debauchery-filled humor. Almodovar was filled with passion and dedication despite being a food truck chef. Yeah, we agree that she was rough around the edges, but overall she seemed to be a great person in real life. The only time that she appeared to be a little annoying was when she was stressed out in the kitchen.
I have not given up. I have more to show you. No matter what, when I was crashing and burning, I was fighting throughout the whole time. I didn't give up. And the biggest thing in the kitchen is admitting when you can ask for help. I said I was drowning, I needed help. But Millie, you don't help out when people ask help. So if I need a partner.
Her most notable moment was in season 17 when she had to stand up against Millie Medley's constant bad-mouthing and inexplicable claims of racism against her. So, what exactly caused them to not like each other? Reddit user Danny1999 mentioned that they didn't like each other from the very beginning. Medley even said that trading Josh Travato for her was the trade of the century. But as the season progressed, Medley started showing his lazy side during punishments. Almodovar noticed that it wasn't fair that she and the others on the team put effort into the punishments while Medley barely did anything. Also, Medley always relied on other people to help him, but when they needed help, he made excuses and escaped. Now, these were accusations made by a few contestants, not us. So when the time came for Medley to defend himself, he did that in a highly vocal way. And by doing so, he gained an enemy in Almodovar. This is what Almodovar had to say about her elimination from the competition.
I did not think this is how it was going to end for me, but you know what? I have absolutely no regrets leaving Hell's Kitchen tonight. I gave it my all.
Alright, next up we have Sabrina Brimhall. Sabrina Brimhall is from San Diego, California. She was a prep cook before coming to Hell's Kitchen in season 8. The most noticeable thing about Brimhall was her immaturity and her inconsistent performances. But she did have a big heart. During the ravioli challenge, Brimhall had a hard time working on the pasta machine, so she asked for help from a reluctant Melissa Donnie. Later on in the challenge, she even struggled to open the fridge door, so she enlisted the help of Gail Novanario. You won't believe what she told Brimhall.
I think that Nona should go home, Chef. Her idea of fine dining is fried chicken, Chef. She can't cook asparagus, she snores, and it keeps us all awake. And I honestly believe she's good for nothing, Chef.
Finally, she made a shrimp and oregano ravioli, which Chef Ramsay said was delicious even though the pasta was busted. She eventually lost the round to Boris.
He knows that she's worthless.
I know. We're not putting Tweedledum up there for no reason, just because we don't like her.
I'm sorry, Sabrina. She's a horrible attitude. She needs to go.
That bitch has 9 lives.
During the Italian night dinner service, Brimhall was in charge of the grill station. She had a significant problem communicating with her teammates about how long the cooking time would be, which not only frustrated her, but Chef Ramsay as well.
4 minutes, Chef!
What the is going on? Sabrina!
Brimhall told the team that she needed 8 more minutes. Her inability to call out a proper time frustrated Chef Ramsay, and he asked if anybody could help her out. Donnie went over to help, but he was frustrated when Brimhall kept goofing around. Thanks to Donnie though, the red team was finally able to send out their first order.
How long on the second pork, Sabrina? Probably about 7-8 minutes.
I'm gonna start my 2 spaghettis.
No. Just wait, please wait.
Later, Novanario tried to communicate with Brimhall, but her inconsistent timing confused her even further. Here's what we mean by this.
From the beginning, Chef Ramsay told me that I wasn't a team player, and honestly, he's right. But here's the thing. Everybody thinks that I'm stupid, but you know what? I'm one manipulative.
So even though Novanario was not ready with her pasta yet, Brimhall brought her pork out first and made Novanario look bad. Once the red team was done, Chef Ramsay sent them over to the blue kitchen to help the men complete their tickets. However, both teams got confused with their orders and Chef Ramsay kicked them all from the kitchen. In the end, both teams were named joint losers and they were asked to nominate 2 people for elimination. It doesn't come to much of a surprise that Brimhall was eliminated in the 11th episode. In response to this decision, Chef Ramsay said,
Sabrina, give me a jacket. You have got a big heart. You work exceptionally hard But, young lady, you have a lot of growing up to do inside the kitchen and outside.
Yes, Chef.
Thank you for your commitment.
Thank you, Chef.
I wish you the best of luck.
Sabrina was quite dramatic in her final plea, but I'm not looking for a drama queen. I'm looking for a head chef.
Alright, next up is Frank Calla. Frank Calla was a contestant in season 15 who ranked in 7th place. Calla was known to be the most infamous in the 15th season for his sexist comments. In fact, Sergeant Calla was fired from being a chef for the commandment after he refused to work with females on board. His attitude hadn't changed upon his entry into Hell's Kitchen. One such example was in episode 8.
I have 6 ingredients, Chef. I did a hanger steak with a Romanesco puree, roasted potatoes, grilled eggplant chip with sauteed chard.
It's not cooked properly. You are kidding me.
No, I'm not.
Come on.
For the ingredient number challenge, Calla was the second person from the blue team to have their dish judged by Chef Ramsay. He made a 6-ingredient hanger steak with romesco puree, roasted potatoes, grilled eggplant chip, and sauteed chard. Chef Ramsay criticized the dish for not being cooked right and laughed over Calla's decision to scatter the potatoes all over the plate. Calla lost the round to Ariel Malone and the blue team lost the challenge 1-3. They were punished and asked to participate in the delivery day. During the punishment, Calla was irritated that Manda Palomino was doing the organizing while the men were doing the heavy lifting. He even stated that he hated working with women. In episode 12, Calla was eliminated thanks to his declining performance and refusal to admit his mistakes. However, Calla believed that he was eliminated over a popularity contest and claimed that the blue team never had any drama until the women came into their team. As our next entry, we have Benjamin Knack. Benjamin Knack was featured in the 7th and 17th season of Hell's Kitchen. In the 7th season, he ranked in 3rd place, while in the 17th, he was the runner-up. In season 7, he was known for his ego, but at the very same time, he did have some very great dishes. He's known for having one of the greatest rivalries with Siobhan Allgood. Knack started the episode moaning and groaning about joining the red team. He said things like, "I'm gonna hang myself." His teammates who heard him were pretty annoyed with his attitude. I mean, who could blame them? Knack was then assigned to lead the red team and had a sudden change of heart. He was really impressed with the team's ability. Later, during the dinner service, the self-appointed team leader undercooked his crab cakes, and then he later overcooked them. Nilka Hendricks offered to help him out, but he just cursed her out. During the deliberations, Knack, who displayed absolute hatred towards Allgood, said that she lacked technical knowledge and passion for food. Later on, the contestants head out to a sandwich shop that invented the French dip sandwich. After eating the delicious invention, Chef Ramsay informs the contestants that the next challenge will be for them to invent a gourmet sandwich of their own. The famous chef would be testing their creative abilities. Allgood was trying to prove herself, but Knack was giving her a hard time. She said,
By far, Benjamin has it out for me. He thinks he's this hot shot and stuff. If I can prove to myself that I can kick some butt, Chef Ramsay sees that that's all that matters. His opinion to me, I don't give a shit.
To make the competition fair, the red team had to eliminate their weakest entry because they had 5 contestants compared to the blue team's 4. And here's what happened.
Red team, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you against the blue team. Let's make it even, shall we? Decide who has the worst sandwich. 30 seconds. Who's standing out?
Siobhan, Chef.
Siobhan.
Benjamin decided to exclude Allgood, and the others seemed to agree as well. Allgood was beyond upset with this since she wouldn't be able to compete. But wait till you see what happens next. After tasting all the sandwiches, both teams stood at a 3-point tie. Chef Ramsay decided that he needed a tiebreaker and did this.
Okay, I've got to break the tie. Siobhan, let's go.
Thank you, Chef.
Chef Ramsay found that Allgood's sandwich was better than Fran Clear's. Here's what she had to say.
I am so sick of it. They think I can't cook. My sandwich was better than Fran's. They didn't want to put me up there. It's their fault. We lost a challenge because of it.
Meanwhile, Knack decides to lecture Allgood. It looks like he wasn't entirely done with her yet. He said,
If you want to win, we got to win as a team. We need to make sure that the best food goes up there, okay?
I knew mine was one of the best.
Okay. Your sandwich, not good. Your dish got voted off. I would not serve that sandwich out of my kitchen.
Sadly, that turned out to be Allgood's last day on the set, and the smirk on Knack's face is one thing that can't be missed. Going back to Knack, he climbed up the ladder and finished in 3rd in the 7th season, and made his way right back into the finals in season 17. When Chef Ramsay asked him why he deserved to still be in the competition, Knack said that he was the best chef. He expressed that he was passionate, hardworking, and had bounced back from his tough days. Before he left, Chef Ramsay asked him to promise to push himself and to not give up. Nak received a retrospective montage of his run during his exit interview. Well, that'll be all for today's video here on the channel. Did we miss any controversial chefs in Hell's Kitchen? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give us a like and a share. Also hit the subscribe button to never miss out on our updates. Thanks for watching, guys.